Neue Runde, neues Glück. Auf geht's. Auf zum Krankenhaus. Weiter geht's. Stinky. Andi, das Video ist gelöscht.
Jo, perfekt.
Weiter geht's.
It's okay, Jonathan. I'll see you later.
So. Dann schauen wir mal. Ui.
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the source of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Trink ihn leer.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Qualität des Blutes.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Okay. Na, wenn ich nimmst unsere Decke aus dem Schlafzimmer.
Bastard! Didn't have the guts to fight me. Fuck you. I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Ja. So. Ausgesaugt haben wir ihn.
Ist so wirklich, ja?
Ja.
Das solltest du aber auch am Leben lassen, ja? Ist nix.
Ja, das grüne Lakenhose. Ich dachte, das hätten wir extra da rein. Ach nee, das ist ja da drauf. Wo ist denn das andere?
Das ist unter dir.
Ah. Und nun? Ach so, guck mal bitte im Schlafzimmer. Da oberstes. Ja, oder so, ja.
To taste a life, to embrace its most intimate secrets. Such a burden.
So, ich hoffe, ich habe keinen Fehler gemacht. Und hab den jetzt getötet. Ich habe den ja jetzt getötet. Und ausgesaugt. Ich hoffe, das war jetzt kein
Immer
Fehler.
nur am Saugen.
Saugen kann ich.
Das hinterfrage ich nochmal.
Tu das. So, dann schauen wir mal, was hier geht. Ah, die sind alle am Sterben. Oh, yes. Eine Glasfiole. Dann schauen wir mal weiter. Weiter. Beeilen Sie sich, Doktor. Okay. Hast du deinen Stream gelöscht, habe?
Ja. Wieso? Welchen denn?
Na, ja, frage ich dich ja auch gerade. Also,
So gut ist die nicht.
achso. Ja. Gut, ja.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Betritt das Hamburg Hospital. Das ist wahrscheinlich nicht das Hospital, oder? Schauen wir einfach mal nach. So, eine Tür. Da wird uns nicht mal die Option gelassen, ob wir dort durchtreten wollen. Okay. Das ist aber jetzt hier nicht so nett. Na komm.
Wir sehen ja rein. Hast du den weißen Punkt oder
Gut. Haben wir die auch erledigt? Eine Fotografie. Sehr schön. So, dann schauen wir mal nach. Okay. So, dann schauen wir mal. Mitternacht im Garten von Gut und Böse. So. Details. Finde die verlorene Geldbörse. Ja, dann bringen wir die Geldbörse mal zurück zu ihrem Besitzer. Eine Bleiplatte. Die nehmen wir doch. So. Dann gehen wir mal weiter. wir, glaube ich, reingekommen. Schauen wir mal. Nehmen wir. Haben wir unseren Vorrat wieder aufgefüllt. So. Weiter geht's. Da haben wir nichts gefunden. Das bringt uns auch nicht weiter.
Jetzt ist die Frage, welches ist das für die Dings, ja? Die Lootmarke, für die Geldbörse.
Oh, da ist noch einer. Ja, ich habe den gleich erledigt. Gott sei Dank. So, dann schauen wir mal, ob der noch was für uns hat. Natürlich nicht. So. Auf geht's, auf geht's. So. Die Kiste. Können wir die zerschlagen? So, da versteckt sich noch eine Mülltonne. Und eine öffentliche Bekanntmachung. Okay. Kein Spucken. So. Die kann ich jetzt wiederum nicht kaputt machen, die Kiste. Auch gut. So.
Da muss die Geldbörse bringen, also ins Krankenhaus.
Na, ich muss ja eh ins Krankenhaus. Um dort da ist noch eine Mülltonne, die blinkt auch schon. So, ein Schmiermittel. Dann suchen wir mal das Krankenhaus. Wenn ich jetzt hier lang gehe, ja. Dann müssten wir da drauf. Das ist das Krankenhaus. Da ist noch eine Mülltonne. Krankenhaus ist voll. Okay. Bitte kehren Sie wieder heim. Sehr schön.
I cannot
Die Tür
enter.
ist verschlossen.
Das lockt.
Dann
Mal
muss ich
diese
jetzt...
unqualifizierten Kommentare aus der zweiten Reihe da, ey.
Ja, ja, das... Aber wir nehmen das jetzt einfach so hin.
It's locked, all right.
It's locked. So. Zack. Gucken wir mal. Vielleicht. Ja, wie kommen wir da rein? Gute Frage, nächste Frage.
Das ist bestimmt da nochmal hoch. Noch ein Stück hoch.
Aber, ja, gut. Probieren wir es mal. Nee. Auch Außer ich springe da irgendwie dran, aber ich kann ja nicht springen. Mist. Müssen wir wohl einen anderen Eingang finden. Finden. Dass ich auch keine Fenster einschmeißen kann oder so. Ey, ich bin schon ein Vampir und kann nichts. Gut, dann gehen wir nochmal durch den Garten. Vielleicht gibt's... Ach! Aber ist ja auch alles verschlossen. Ist doch blöd. Das konnte ich mir jetzt nicht angucken, den Plan, oder? Nee. Natürlich nicht. Gut, kann ich da irgendwie hoch? Natürlich auch nicht. Warum auch? Sehr gut. Das läuft. Das läuft. Schon schön. So. Hier ist auch nichts. Da hängt wieder ein Plakat. So, Influenza. Gut. Auf der Parkbank sitzen wollen wir jetzt nicht. Da ist das Hospital. Schauen wir mal von der anderen Seite. Vielleicht haben wir ja Glück. Ich habe nicht die ganze Nacht Zeit. Ja, ich auch nicht. Eine Ratte wäre schön.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I apologize, nurse. I needed some time to myself. This has been the longest and strangest night of my life.
You delivered poor Mr. Hampton from a terrible fate. The means to that end should be of little concern, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Okay. Sehr schön.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the
Ist der
ambulance
Ton
driver
von
for this
Screen
shithole of a
jetzt besser?
hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a
Hört sich
keen
gut an
eye.
soweit.
I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet, with all the money, and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin color that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Aha, aha. So kann ich also mein Geld loswerden. Okay. Okay. Das ist zu teuer, ja. Du hast recht. Eindeutig zu teuer. Gut. Quatsch mal den noch an.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Tell me more about cherished people then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Okay. Okay, also da brauchen wir erst noch ein paar
Goodbye, Dr.
Hinweise.
Tippett.
Gut, gut. Dann schauen wir mal. Eine Glasfiole. Gut. Dann wollen wir mal. Erster Stock.
Ja, wo ist ein Dunkel?
Ja, hier das Plakat.
Ja, nee, das Plakat liegt ja auch, aber hier, da liegt eine Truhe. Da unten was.
Ach, da. Dankeschön.
Ich frag dich wie auch, wenn ich das bin. Warum schon immer komplett absuche alles?
Ich war ein bisschen traurig, dass ich den Geheimgang da noch nicht gefunden habe, den du, wo du schon reingegangen bist vorhin.
Aber da kannst du doch später bestimmt nochmal rein. Oder ist das kein Open World mäßig?
Also ich denke doch, dass ich da definitiv nochmal hinkommen werde. Dass ich nochmal die Möglichkeit kriege.
Na siehst du. Dann weißt du das ja. Siehst du?
Ja. So, dann gehen wir mal in den ersten Stock in mein Büro. Mal sehen, was uns da
This place seems
auf
perfect to
dem Weg
conduct my research.
so in die Hände fällt. Okay, okay.
Was an der Wand.
Ah ja, da. Gucken wir erstmal hier. Husten Sie nicht in der Öffentlichkeit. So, dann sprechen wir mal mit dem
Good evening,
mit
miss.
der Patientin.
I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital.
Huh?
And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Sie ist also ein Vampir.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's mind, you see?
Whoa.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cottard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul. Or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
So, gut. Kann ich also nicht weiter fragen.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Gut. Da war noch was. Schauen wir mal. Krankenschwestern werden gebraucht. Da kommen wir her. Schauen wir mal hier. Können wir uns mit ihm unterhalten? Ja.
Daily route.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here.
Halbe Stunde noch.
Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty.
Ich muss
A
jetzt
normal
mit dir ins Bett
person.
gehen.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cottard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
And it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood. Good evening, Mr. Hampton.
Oh, er ist
How
wieder
do you
wach.
feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Okay.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Do you know Tom Watts? The bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice. It's a damn shame.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers trade union.
Passen.
The wet boot boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Dann musste sie abmachen.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long. You know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint. Not even criminals.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Okay.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later. It's locked.
It's locked. So. Da kommen wir her. Sie können nicht mit mir sprechen. Die sind zu krank. Oh, da ist ja...
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swans's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Okay.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
Nee, das sind noch 6 Minuten in der Verlängerung, dann wird es Elfmeterschießen geben, aber jetzt ist gerade erstmal wohl Elfmeter für Kroatien.
Okay.
Knowledge has always been and will remain our main weapon. And it has always come at a price. And personal initiative.
It is not a question of initiative, it is a question of integrity. These men and women have put their faith in us, Dr. Reed.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital, instead of a burden.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Gut.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Sehr unfreundlich, dieser Arzt.
Wie so fast jeder Arzt.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Gibt kaum noch Ärzte, die wirklich korrekt sind.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Das stimmt schon, kann man von den wenigsten behaupten. So.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Wie schlecht kann man den Meter schießen? Also.
Ja, ist aber auch kein 100%iger Elfer. Also.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
Ich hätte den, trotz dass ich Rebic mag, absolut nicht gegeben. Dafür war die Berührung viel zu lasch.
And a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Let you down, my boy.
Ein unvollendeter Brief.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
So. Schaffen wir es denn jetzt in den ersten Stock? Ich hoffe doch. Ich werde jetzt noch mein Büro suchen. Und dann werde ich mich wieder verabschieden, weil ich muss dann morgen auch früh raus.
This hospital seems to be falling
Ich werde jetzt mein Büro
but in the
suchen
circumstances I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt.
und mich später um die anderen Patienten kümmern. Jetzt muss ich bloß mein Büro wiederfinden. 6 Meter, 5 Meter. Ja, ja, im ersten Stock, das weiß ich. Aber, da geht's zur Rezeption. Alles klar, und da geht's zum ersten Stock. So, dann links, hat sie gesagt. Das erste leerstehende Büro. Na, dann schauen wir doch mal, wo das erste leerstehende... Dann wird das bestimmt das sein.
This must be the place. It's
Tada!
definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows.
Dann machen wir das.
A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
So. Dann werden wir uns jetzt erstmal weiterentwickeln. Das war das, ja? Nee, oder? So. Gut. Erhöhte Gesundheit haben wir. So, dann habe ich noch 1100. Schattenschleier. Sprung. Das ist noch. So. Blut. Soll ich das nehmen?
Machen?
Erhöht die Blutkapazität?
Na, was ist mit Wissenschaft? Und taktisch und so, und die Physik, das da.
Na, du kannst jetzt 3 Sera mit dir tragen.
Also was Dings.
Oder Munitionstasche. Hm. Nee, das wäre, also, das sehe ich jetzt nicht als das Wichtigste an. Habe ich überlegt, ja. Okay. Oh, Kacke.
Ja, du musst das Spiel nochmal machen. Weil es gibt nämlich eine Trophäe, die musst du am Leben lassen.
Ja, ja, ich. Hast mir ja gesagt, oh, scheiße. Oh. Also muss ich das Spiel nochmal spielen.
Du bist zu klein.
Naja, das wird ja ein Spaß. Machen wir ja gerne. So. Wie hast denn du die Taschenuhr?
Ja, für den hingelegt. Ganz rein. Ja, man kann liegen. Ja, man schon erst gelesen.
Ach so. Kleines Fläschchen. Kleiner Beutel voller Reis. Okay. Schauen wir mal. Die Axt oder das Beil ist natürlich nicht verkehrt. Ja? Richtet auf jeden Fall deutlich mehr Schaden an. Der Pflück. Da fehlt mir jetzt natürlich was? Die Sense. Ja, fehlt natürlich auch. Schauen wir mal hier. Da fehlt auch was. Da auch. Gut.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night.
Okay, okay.
I have so much
So,
time.
liebe Leute, ich verabschiede mich dann erneut und wir sehen uns beim nächsten Stream.
Ciao.
Tschüss.